everybody, and welcome back to the Friends You Can Keep podcast.
Oh, fancy. Oh no.
Enjoy this lovely ASMR moment.
That was close.
Brought to you by the Mythical Store. I dink it and sink it. But I'm going to order the second one for you at some point. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Sure. I'm just going to take that one.
My Lego truck that I finally built. I got that for Christmas this year or last year?
Yeah, this year.
That's
not too bad.
No. It sat upstairs all this time.
It's better than my Mother's Day flowers.
I kept meaning to get to it and meaning to get to it and meaning to get to it.
Because that took me a solid year.
Yeah. It might have been longer than that.
I just didn't have... Now I have roses to do. They won't take as long because I do want to do those.
Well, the problem is you want to do them without Tony.
Well, they're hard.
Because it's such a project. You got to do what I did. Keep the box.
But it's not even that.
And the problem, though, is yours is the box. Mine came in a plain brown cardboard box and then that box. So when I was...
Well, that's
I would build a bag.
What was sent to her.
Yeah. But I would build a bag and then put it all in the brown box and set it off to the side. So he didn't know, like,
but
you're building the truck.
Mine might not be, like, multiple bags the way yours was.
It definitely will be.
But I think I might have to open all of them because it's weird flowers and they're going to be all the same.
No, probably not.
One flower per bag?
No, you'll probably have...
Well, I guess they're different shapes.
The stems are probably all one bag. The roses are probably all one bag.
All the bottoms? It just feels like it's going to be harder. I need to just do it all in one shot. But the other flowers were hard.
Got a lot of notes. A lot of things to talk about. So I might not need, like, filler, but who knows? We'll see. So... Of course, Jacob is, for those of you that don't know, my brother. And he's kind of a nut job. Has a lot of big conspiracy energy for a lot of things. I didn't say it, but I didn't think of it. The newest one I heard, we were talking about a job we were at, and that segued into, like, privilege and influencers, and I'm so done with people, blah, 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 blah. I'm 33, but I act like I'm 72. It's the fucking whatever. But that somehow got us into the topic of Tom Segura. To which, I forget how we got there, but it made sense how we got there.
Well, because I guess he is sort of an influencer, even though that's not his job.
Well, no, that's not how we got there.
Oh.
It wasn't the influencer route. So Jacob is now a part of the camp that, because, I saw this stuff on X or whatever the fuck it's called.
What is it, Twitter?
Twitter.
Oh. I didn't know people were still using it.
Oh, yeah. People still use it, but that's Threads never really took off.
I hate it.
But people moved over to Threads because Twitter was Twitter, and then Elon Musk bought Twitter and renamed it and did a whole bunch of shit.
And ruined it.
And then, like, all the super nutjob people who Twitter was, like, trying to phase out, Elon Musk bought it, and then was just like, come on back.
Right.
Come on back. We're fine. Don't worry about it. But, so we saw these videos, and it's the two... I know exactly what he's referencing. It's the Two Bears, One Cave episode where Tom went on this rant about, like, I put up videos of me in my car, or I put up videos of me doing this or that. And people keep commenting on it about, like, how I shouldn't be flashing my wealth, and I should be, like, more humble about it, and this and that. But it's not my fault you're poor. It's your fault you're poor. Like, don't come after me. Which, like, and again, I tried to say to him, like, because I love Tom Segura.
Isn't it all just a ruse?
Well, it's like 50-50. Because part of his gripe in the video he's talking about is legitimate. Part of his gripe is legit in the fact of, like, I get it. Other people don't have as much money as I have. But why shouldn't I be able to post up, like,
Right.
Here's me test driving a McLaren or whatever. Because, it's, it's triggering to you or whatever. Because you don't have the money to do these kind of things. Like, it's dumb. But that's what people do on the internet.
Right. He also is very charitable, though.
But it was that, and then it was this whole, like, he's just gotten worse, and it's super unbearable. And then him and Bert were doing an interview somewhere, and even Bert chimed in and told him, like, you're getting out of control, and you're becoming an asshole, and, like...
Well, Bert's also an asshole, so I don't know that that's really...
But I tried to explain, like, this is a bit. Because I watch Two Bears. I watch Your Mom's House.
Well, it's all a bit.
I'm like, this all started because they had a conversation about how black people smell versus white people, and that went into, like, how you bathe and how you wash yourself, and then it got to the conversation of washcloths, and then they started this whole bit about how, like, washcloths are for poor people. And, like, that's where this all sort of, like, stems from. And then
it's just this...
Tom just ran with it, and it went certain avenues. And, like, you watch the videos they watch on Your Mom's House. It's guys like, what's his name? Andrew Tate? Was that his name? That weird, like, super misogynistic, maybe black, maybe white guy with a British accent who got canceled hard on the internet.
Yeah.
They watch his videos on Your Mom's House and make fun of him. There's a bunch of motivational speaker people that are like, it's your fault you're a fucking poor piece of shit, you fucking asshole. Like, it's that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But it's all a bit. At least the way I interpret it. I could be totally wrong. Tom could be the biggest piece of shit on the planet. I don't know. But the way I've read it,
I don't think he is.
through watching various episodes of YMH and stuff, it comes across to me as a bit. But
I think everything they do on is all... Because, like... he plays himself as being super conservative, and you know he's not.
But I'm offering that up, and his follow-up is like, oh, well, I know where it started. And I'm like, no, you don't. Because then, like, I don't hate Tom Segura, but I don't love him. He's okay.
He probably loves Bert Kreischer.
And in my mind, I'm like, first of all, no offense to Shane Gillis. I think Shane Gillis is very funny. I haven't watched Tires yet. But don't come in to my parents' house the very once in a blue moon time you actually come over for dinner and rave about how good Tires is. And then, like, a day later, be like, well, I don't, Tom Segura's okay.
I don't know who Shane Gillis is.
Yes, you do.
I think I don't like him.
He's the guy that was on SNL and then got fired immediately.
No. Oh, yeah, but he's actually is funny.
Yes.
Yeah. Right, because, like, when he got fired, it seemed like it was such a bigger deal. But it was, like, really long time ago. The tweets. Oh.
It wasn't.
But was it a joke?
It was a podcast. It wasn't a tweet. He did a podcast where he was using racial slurs against Asian people. And the immediate defense was the whole, like, well, it's for the sake of comedy. And then everybody was like, but you're not doing...
Right, it was too far.
But no, it wasn't. You're not doing a bit.
Oh.
Like, you're making fun of people in Chinatown.
Oh.
And you're just, like, calling them the C word.
Oh, no.
Like, you're not... It's not part of the bit. You're not, like, making a commentary about the racial slurs against Asian. Like, it was a weird thing.
Right. You were just using that as an excuse to say that word.
But then I think, like, as time has progressed, because he's said different things about it, and, like, I do think it was something that was very stupid, and I think it was something that at the time he thought the best defense was the whole, like, well, it's for the sake of comedy.
Right.
Like, nobody can be funny anymore.
Right.
But he has since said other things about it that I think he's kind of, like, looked back and realized, like, maybe that wasn't the best thing for me to do.
I thought we saw something where he said, like,
The only thing he does now that people don't like is, like, he uses the word retard.
Oh.
But the whole point of it, because I watched this stand-up special, which is very funny.
Does he use it to...
He has a cousin.
Oh, okay.
He has someone in his family who he's very close with has autism. He's on the spectrum somewhere of, like, being mentally handicapped. I don't know. I don't remember what it is exactly. So I'm not trying. I'm being very vague to not, like...
Yeah, right.
A, fuck his shit up and, like, fuck the jokes up, and B, like, make things worse for myself. Somewhere on the spectrum of, like, mentally handicapped, he has a cousin. And like in his stand-up show, he talks about like how everybody treats them this way and that way, but like that's he's the fucking happiest guy I know. Like it's whatever. So it is a weird like.
Right.
He does use that word and then kind of has the mindset of like.
Why can?
Yeah, like it's
well,
a weird thing,
too,
but like.
I wonder if like it does the not that the cousin uses it, but like does.
But he's also
Do they joke using that?
I've also seen clips of other people on shows with him using it, and he's like very awkwardly in the middle of podcasts been like, that's not okay, and like very genuinely, like it's not a bit, like he's legitimately being like, it's not cool, like what you're doing is not funny,
right? Like he's saying it because like he and his cousin joke that way, so he's using that in his stand-up. He's not he's not flat out calling something.
Yes, and he's not, when he uses the word, he's not using it like in a pointed, derogatory way.
This. It's sort of like, because I guess there is like a way to use it, and like you can also say it in like a, remember when we used to say this, like sort of way.
Remember how Christina P still says it on like every episode?
Yeah, and she still says it too much. I stopped listening to her only because like it just wasn't.
It's weird to me the fact
she started off being not relatable, but like her podcast started out being like, it was funny, but then like her guests were like very interesting because she interviewed Alyssa Milano about how she was like big into breastfeeding on the internet, and it was very interesting. But then she stopped having like,
I never listened to
mom-related guests except for that one guy. He has his own podcast. He's a friend of theirs. He's a dad.
Ryan Sickler?
Yeah.
Love Ryan Sickler.
Yeah, he was on. I listened to him.
Oh my god, I love Ryan Sickler
I listened to him when he was on. And I think she had
Ryan Sickler, Tom Papa?
Yeah, she had him on. So like every once in a while I'll go back if she's got a good guest.
Ryan Sickler,
but when it's just her, it's not good.
Ryan Sickler is one of the comedians I have discovered through Your Mom's House that 1,000,000% deserves the level of fame that Tom has.
He's so sweet.
He's so funny. The Honeydew is so funny. The Way Back is so funny. Like,
but like he seems like a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Even though I think some of his jokes like he goes right in for it. Like he's not like a wholesome comic, but he just seems.
Oh, definitely not.
He just seems really nice.
Well, it's funny to me to watch those podcasts and listen to them and do all that kind of stuff that I do, because there's people like Bert who will very genuinely laugh at other people's jokes, but he also very genuinely laughs at his own jokes to the point where he is beat red, and he's wheezing and he's crying and he's like doubled over on the floor, and it's whatever.
On a podcast it's fine, but like in his specials it's sort of like, get on with it.
Well, even on a podcast, it gets to the point of like, it's a little different because Jimmy Fallon doesn't feel genuine.
No, definitely not.
But it gets to the point with Bert where it's like, okay. Like,
yeah, I do think his laughing is real.
We don't need a laugh break for your own
You
joke.
should cut it out.
Like,
we know you edit. Like, cut your laughing.
But Ryan Sickler, like, you watch The Honeydew, and his laugh is so different from Bert's that it's like, Bert has the kind of laugh where it's infectious because you're now laughing at him.
Yeah.
Whereas Sickler has the kind of laugh that is infectious
it's like
because
of
the kind of laugh it is.
It's like a baby's laugh.
He comes out with like this, I don't know how to even describe it, but he usually like, it ramps up very quickly to this loud, like, the first ha is super high pitched, and then like, but it's so funny. And he seems on the podcast you watch him on like one of the most genuine, down to earth comics and like celebrities. I don't know if you would consider him a celebrity, but
yeah, I guess.
But yeah, the amount of people I have discovered from Your Mom's House is staggering. Because he's one of them. Brian Simpson is one of them.
They have good guests.
Sickler is easily the. No offense to anybody else, Sickler is the best one I've discovered from Your Mom's House. I love Ryan Sickler. But to get back on track, so he then, like, you know, people on the internet, people on X, like, really did, like, digging on Tom and you find out that he's always had money. Because his dad was, did I write it down? His dad was a first vice president of Merrill Lynch.
Okay. He's never said that he came from nothing.
No, but I'm also pretty sure, like...
Christina has said that they were broke when they
I'm pretty certain, like, when he moved out to do stand-up, I'm sure he had some money, but from the way, like, he tells it, he was kind of, like, on his own
just
sort of deal.
Like, his
not
family...
that he was, like, fucking dirt poor.
No. But she's, like... Because...
Yeah, they've talked about it.
Her big thing is, like... When you are first married and you're in, like, your apartment or whatever... You have to find ways to delegate.
Yeah.
So, like, one of the things that they realize is that, like, neither one of them is ever going to clean. So they hired a cleaning lady. So, like, they clearly had, like, because she said, like, even though it was a stretch, like, they still, so they weren't, like, oh, we have no money. But just because his family has money doesn't mean that they hand
And he's
him.
definitely talked about it. It's not like he's been, like, secretive about it.
No. Well, and, like, look at Charo, his mom. Like, she's not living in the slums. I mean, now, like, yes, they do a lot for her.
I'm behind on YMH, and the episode I'm watching now she's on. It is hysterical. It's so funny. She's one of the best guests. She's just so funny.
She's so wacky.
The dynamic between her and Tom is hysterical. He starts doing an impression of his dad. She's like, "Oh my god, you sound just like him." But the follow-up...
What does it matter that his family
But the follow-up to, Tom came from money, is that you can tell that Bert came from nothing.
I don't think that's true, though.
Well, my first thought was, how do you go to Florida State for, like, 6+ years?
I thought his dad was something like...
If you came from nothing. So I looked it up. His mother was in early childhood development.
Okay, she was a teacher.
And his dad, according to Wikipedia, was a, quote, successful real estate attorney. And I also Googled that. The average salary, and this is probably as of 2024, the average salary of a successful real estate attorney is $175,000.
Yeah. I mean, now they are in
Florida. That's the average.
Right, and they are in Florida.
Yes.
But I would assume from Bert's behavior that he's a child who came from a ton of money. And that's why it took him 6 years to get through college, because it didn't really matter. Because he wasn't paying the bill anyway.
Would you ever see Van Wilder?
It's about him.
That's Bert.
But, like, he gives up now. He does, isn't he, like, real... like stingy with his money.
What's super weird,
but that could just be the way he grew up.
What's super
like
weird
maybe
to me is
his parents didn't spend a lot.
Well, what's weird to me is, and it's funny because you hear like that conversation Jacob's having about it, is that like there was that one episode of the podcast where Habitat for Humanity,
right?
They were donating houses. And Tom was trying to, like, nag Bert into just donating a house.
Because it was, like, $40,000 or something.
And Bert's, like...
He would do half.
We're only donating however much money. And then he tried to say, like, oh, it's whatever with taxes or whatever.
He
like,
allots so much.
He only donates so much a year.
And Tom's like, you have it. Donate the whole thing.
Well, that's the weird thing about, like, you're gonna say shit like that about Tom versus Bert. But then, like...
Because I think... Tom donates a lot, doesn't he?
Tom does a lot with his money, but he's not public about it.
Oh, right, he does. Yeah.
Whereas that's kind of the difference. Is Bert's very public with what he does with his money, but then also, when it comes to like charitable shit, it's I only allot so much per year. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it would be reversed.
Well, it's funny because he did that bit in his stand-up about going to the whatever the fucking PTA or the HOA, whatever it was, where like nobody was bidding on the silent auction shit.
Oh,
or the
yeah.
raffle tickets.
Mm-hmm.
So he went up and bought all of them. And he was friends with the DJ or whatever, and then they just kept calling his name, and people got super mad. And then when they finally called a ticket that wasn't his, it was Leanne's. Like, it was a big to-do. Very funny. Fast forward however long after that special comes out, he's on Preston and Steve. And he was at the Flyers game the night before Preston and Steve. And he's going on about how he won the 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not he gave that money back, I don't know. Except that they kind of talked about on the show. It was like, well, normally people don't keep that money.
Right, you give
the
it
prize
back.
money. You give it back to the charity or whatever. And he joked about, like, how he didn't. But I can't imagine he kept it.
Didn't he, like, buy all the tickets also?
But that's the point, is he said, like, oh, I bought, like, whatever dollar amount worth, like, well over $1,000, if not more, like $10,000. I forget how much money he spent on tickets. And no one really addressed it, but I kept thinking, like, no fucking shit you won.
Right.
Like, it's funny when you do the bit on your special, because that was kind of like like, you were doing it almost for spite, because those people were assholes.
Right.
But then when you're bragging about winning a 50-50 raffle at a hockey
when
game...
you bought, like, all the
tickets... you bought the majority of the tickets, it's weird that everyone was, like, joking. I mean, you can joke about it, but it was weird that, like, people were so congratulatory when the correct reaction to me is more like, no fucking shit you won.
Right.
Like,
I would have been shocked if you didn't.
Yeah, I'd be more surprised if you didn't.
You drank your drink a little too fast.
That's so good. I have water. But yeah, that was very funny to me, and that happened like a week ago, and I wrote it down to share because it was just too funny not to share. What other notes do I have? I saw to stay in the lane of celebrity nonsense. I saw an article about, was it about Taylor Swift?
Uh-oh.
I forget who it was about. And, like, by no means is this a podcast where we're just going to disparage Taylor Swift. I can care less. Do what you do, girl. Who gives a shit?
Right, clearly she's doing...
Oh, no, I think it was an article about, because Dave Grohl made some comment about the Foo Fighters tour being the Errors tour. Because they make a lot of errors, because they actually play their music live. And people, whether or not that was a dig at Taylor Swift, who the fuck knows. But that's what immediately everybody took it as, and it was this whole big to-do.
Because how dare you?
And a comment I saw on one of these articles that came up as like one of the top comment things or whatever was somebody that said, in the modern era, they made some dig at Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters. A lot of people are making digs at the Foo Fighters. Like, oh, it's super easy to put out the same album for 10 years. And I'm like, hasn't Taylor Swift released like 50 variant versions of the Tortured Poets Society or whatever?
Well, she had to re-release all her old... The Taylor version is because...
Yeah, but her new album has like...
No, it's like all extended.
15, but it's like 15 different variant albums. It's not like... here's this, here's the special edition, here's whatever edition. It's like, here's this, here's the special edition, here's the red version, the yellow version, the green version, the blue version, the purple version. They've all got different songs on them. They've all got extended songs on them. They've got cover. Like, it's
I don't even know how you get them.
It's all
you have to buy them?
Yeah. Because I saw some article about how people have spent, like, thousands of dollars on these albums alone, just getting all the variants of the Tortured Poets department.
I'm just listening to the one that's free on Apple Music.
I'm not listening to any.
I listened to it once. By listening, I mean I listened to it once because I wanted to see what the hype was about.
I'm not listening to any of it.
I'm just into Sabrina Carpenter right now because that song's stuck in my head. Yeah. 24.
Which one, Espresso or Please, Please, Please?
Yeah. Yeah. Don't embarrass me, motherfucker. I can't. It's stuck in my head.
Please, please, please. She's from Quaker Town, so that's okay.
I mean, Taylor Swift's from Reading. So.
Well,
the Fancy Pants. She's from like Why Missing. She's not from Reading.
No,
I mean, she says she comes from nothing. But...
She came from money. She's very Tom Segura. She's pretending to be Burt Kreischer, but she's very Tom Segura. Which I like. Whatever.
Who cares?
Here or there.
I mean, I guess in
here or
terms
there
of like
at the dig by the here or there about the dig from Dave Grohl. My immediate thought was like,
wait, what was
there's
the
a big
what was the comment?
something about like them making a bunch of errors when they play because they play their music live. So the insinuation, if he was talking about,
what was the comment?
I'm
that
getting.
you saw?
I'll get back to that in a second. But my point with Dave's comment, if it was directed at Taylor Swift, there's also a huge difference between a pop singer who like isn't known for having a band. She's just known for herself.
Well, she plays guitar.
Versus a rock band.
Right.
Like,
right.
There's
They're a
a
band.
big difference.
They're not like Dave Grohl. They're the Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
There's a whole.
But the top comment was, in the modern era, Taylor Swift as a songwriter is only comparable to that of Paul McCartney.
What?
And I thought,
all her songs are the same.
in terms of what?
But are we saying Paul McCartney is the greatest songwriter?
Because
in
terms of vol, no, I think that's in the modern era. I think she's talking about like Taylor Swift. I think.
But she's saying after.
I think
so
the
Taylor
comment.
Swift,
I think
and
the
next
comment.
one was.
I think the comment was intended that like, you can't compare her as a songwriter to anybody else.
But
like
Paul
she
McCartney?
she is head and shoulders above every other singer-songwriter or just songwriter in general throughout history. The only person that is above her is Paul McCartney. Is what that comment
but
is
are we
trying to say.
are we all agreeing that Paul McCartney's up there? Take Taylor Swift out of the equation. Are we saying that Paul McCartney is up there? Because I don't think that he is.
Whoa. When you talk about songwriting,
Is he really the top?
Usually it's Lennon and McCartney. Or like
really?
The tippy top, is what people talk about.
I mean, I don't know who I would put up there.
Paul Simon. What?
Brian Wilson. You got to put him up there. You have to. You got to put him up there.
To go off on a tangent for a second, take a little detour. I didn't write this down, but I've thought about it quite a bit. I don't know why I thought about it the one time watching that trailer for the Beach Boys documentary that we haven't watched yet. I think because they talked about like, oh, they were in this like pseudo rivalry with the Beatles.
I want to know if that's true.
It definitely is. Hoagie Fest at Wawa. Why? I want to know who made the choice to go hard into what is clearly a Beatles theme.
Oh, yeah.
Because their mascot is very obviously John Lennon. Like a cartoon John Lennon.
Well, it also
and there's
seems
there's a lot of yellow submarine looking stuff.
Yeah, it also reminds me of Schoolhouse Rock.
The song, the Hoagie Fest like theme song, does not sound anything like anything the Beatles have done. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, Hoagie Fest takes place in the summer. Why wouldn't you have gone with more of a Beach Boys theme over the Beatles?
Or what?
Because no part of Wawa is like
the Beatles.
What's this weird like the Hoagie Fest theming? Their mascot is clearly John Lennon, and then like all the theming is like this psychedelic like 1970s.
Was it
vibe.
always?
Well, I don't know what it used to be, but the very modern like as long as I've been alive.
I think Hoagie Fest is very new.
No, it's been a little longer than you think.
Well, I guess because Wawa.
I don't think it came around till they were a gas station as well as a convenience store, but like when, as far as I've have memory of like Wawa being huge and then doing Hoagie Fest. Apologies, by the way, this is a very northeast.
2006.
Okay, so almost 20 years.
Yeah. 2006. Oh, this one says 2008. So somewhere in there.
Go to the official Wawa website.
Well, this one's from NBC Philadelphia.
There you go. What was the first one from? Wikipedia?
Courier Post Line.
Yeah. NBC Philadelphia is probably correct.
I mean, they were close, so.
But yeah, this is a very northeast through a little bit of the south and then Florida conversation.
Yeah, sorry if you're from anywhere else. Wow, they started in 1964.
But like, It just was weird to me when I thought about that. Like, why wouldn't you have gone with a different theme? Like, it's weird to me that you chose the Beatles. And
Well,
then nothing...
Maybe there was, like... I'm sure there was a reason.
Yeah, because the guy who owns Wawa probably loves the Beatles. But yeah, I don't know. The idea that the only songwriter better than Taylor Swift is Paul McCartney is a strange notion to me. Not that Paul McCartney's not great, and not that she's not that she's not a decent songwriter, but like throughout all of history, the only person above Taylor Swift as a songwriter, it's...
Well, she claims Charlie Puth is above her. Isn't that what she says in one of her songs? Or he doesn't get enough credit.
He doesn't get enough credit, but I think that's more about him all around. Not as his songwriting, his singing, his everything.
Yeah, yeah.
But also, like, I want to know in what qualifying region that commenter is putting. Because you're just talking about, like, mainstream songwriters who just put, like, music on the radio? Or are you talking about, like, your Lin-Manuel Mirandas and your Alan Menkins and your Stephen Sondheims?
Well, are they considered...
like...
I guess yeah, they are considered songwriters.
Yeah.
I'm like, are they considered some... Is there a distinction between people who write, like, pop, like, radio music versus people who write, like, Broadway music?
There's probably a distinction, but you're still a songwriter.
Songwriter,
yeah.
Right. Like, what's your title? It's still the same,
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that was a weird notion to me.
I'm not going to say she doesn't belong up there because I don't know. We don't listen to her. I don't know. Her older stuff, certainly not.
I'm not saying
you don't belong up there for that stuff you put out in the
I'm
early
not saying
2000s.
she's a bad songwriter. I am by no means saying, like, she shouldn't even be on the list. She shouldn't be in the top 1,000, whatever. What I am saying is there's no way in hell that Paul McCartney is number 1 and then Taylor Swift is number 2.
Yeah.
Like, no. That's some shit that you comment, and then that's why people think, like, this is a cult.
Yeah.
Because that's some cult shit.
You can say, and if you just want to say, like, I think that she's a great for you. Great for you.
I need to get lotion for my hands.
But, like, I don't know. That's a bold accusation. Very bold. I have a cut, and it's very itchy.
I keep getting ads for T-Mobile.
Oh.
You might have seen them. Featuring the 2 guys from Suits.
Is that show still on?
No. But it, like, had a real resurgence. I'm guessing it's a Meghan Markle, but...
Well, I mean, her time has come and gone, so...
Yeah, but, like, within the past 2 years, she was still big news.
Yeah.
And when The Office moved from Netflix and stuff like that, it was like, Suits is, like, the #1 watched show for the entire year of 2023 or whatever. And I'm like, why?
Yeah, I guess it's just like a weird thing that people are like, well, again, if everything else is gone,
like,
they took Friends, they
not
took
that it's
The
a
Office.
bad show, but like, why Suits?
I guess it's just the last sitcom left.
It wasn't a sitcom.
Suits?
Yeah, it wasn't a sitcom. It was a drama. It was a courtroom drama.
I thought it was supposed to be funny.
No.
Oh. I never watched it.
You're thinking of Boston Legal, which I do want to watch.
Am I thinking of Psych?
Probably. You're probably thinking of Psych.
Dulé
Hill and whatever that guy's name is.
The guy, Zach Morris? Was he in that?
That's...
Was he in Suits?
Franklin and Bash.
Ah, there you go. Another courtroom drama.
Was Only in Isles?
No.
Bones.
No, that's the guy from Buffy.
The X-Files. Bones is the other Deschanel.
Who?
The other Deschanel.
Oh, yeah.
Not...
And the guy from Bones.
Zoe. Yeah, the guy from Bones is in Bones. Correct. That's the correct assessment.
The guy from Buffy.
I didn't watch Buffy, so.
I didn't either, but
I know the guy from Psych is the guy from Luck of the Irish, which is a very...
Oh my god! What? The Disney Channel original?
Every time I saw Psych, I'm like, that's the guy from Luck of the Irish.
Oh my god!
I'm like, what a bizarre thing to be known for.
I never.
And he's probably done tons of shit. I think he might have been in like Boondock Saints. I
What?
don't know, but I'm just like, all I know you from is Luck of the Irish. Oh god, and Psych, obviously.
What a great
now.
movie.
But this ad is the two of them, and it's a guy in voiceover. Like, it's supposed to be like them filming the commercial. The voiceover guy is telling them to like focus and read the lines or whatever. It opens with them doing like this weird like warm up, like whatever the fuck they're doing. And then it's like the voiceover guy is giving the information, and they're just like fucking around, and they keep doing like the boop, and it like cuts between takes or whatever.
Oh.
It's a very odd commercial.
No, I've never seen this.
It's a very odd commercial. Like at one point, the voiceover guy says something about whatever the like magenta status is now for your membership or whatever.
I think everyone has magenta.
To which the younger guy from Suits, the one who didn't go to law school in the show, they do like the boop thing, and then he turns around and goes, "I'll show you my magenta status."
Ew. Ew.
And then I'm pretty sure the voiceover guy just does like, "I'll do it," and like it just goes into the generic like T-Mobile logo bullshit voiceover guy.
Is that supposed to be like a lipstick joke?
But here's my thing. All of this is taking place, very obviously, in a garage.
What?
And I'm like, are you two being held hostage by T-Mobile? Why is this being filmed in a garage?
And why are you talking about your magenta status?
Like it's very like the garage door behind them is down, and like it's not zoomed in. Like you can see, like the metal brace.
Well, like, or is it supposed? Because that's what a soundstage looks like.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it has a big garage door.
No, it's not a big garage door. This looks like a garage door in like a condo. Like, I'm like, what?
It's a small
Let me see if I can find it.
It's
just to show you a picture from it.
No, I am not getting that T-Mobile. Probably because I've been talking shit to T-Mobile.
Well, I get it.
So they don't send me anything.
I get it on Amazon Prime. I'll get like you get a longer ad.
I just keep getting that. Every commercial I get on YouTube right now is that Santa movie. Or that weird Aubrey Plaza movie. Like
This
my
is
old ass.
Them on the set, and it's them in front of the garage door. Is this like a Suits thing for them in front of the garage door? I didn't watch the show.
I didn't either. Maybe.
Like, that's clearly a garage door. Like, they're in a garage.
That's not... No, that's like even... Which is the guy from Luck of the Irish? That
Neither one of them. That's Psych.
Oh.
This is Suits.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't either.
Is it your butthole?
Let me look up the guy from Luck of the Irish. It's definitely his penis.
Ew.
What else does magenta status be?
But then, like, because they call like a dog's wiener like the pink lipstick or whatever.
It's called lipstick. It's not pink.
So
Don't specify color.
Is it supposed to be like that reference? Disgusting.
Oh, he doesn't look at all. There he is. That's a good picture. Not really. He's grainy as shit.
Who cares?
So that's him in Luck of the Irish. He's a...
Is it a Disney Channel movie?
Hey guys, so, upon putting everything in to edit this down to get it uploaded and stuff for Monday, realized that the entire second half of the episode didn't record. So this is the outro for what is a very abrupt ending to this episode. Sorry about that. Phone doesn't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Didn't know what happened until after the fact. So, yeah. Hopefully it doesn't happen in 2 weeks. That's basically all you missed. We rambled on about movies a little bit. Yeah, we're off for the 4th of July. Have a good holiday. Have fun. Be safe. We love you, and as always, thank you for being a friend.